directors who met in Orlando just a little more than a week ago to just kind of showcase all the fabulous work and visibility that you guys are doing around National Health Center Week. So big congratulations to all of you. And I'm sure we can make the slideshow available otherwise, but appreciate you guys sending in all the photos in the midst of a really busy week. So I'm going to get us started right away. We have, I think, just a brief agenda before we launch into the salsa import training with Alan. So real quickly, I'm going to go through just some brief program updates and maybe a quick chance for us to debrief about National Health Center Week to catch any highlights that you all experienced during that time or since then, and then talk a little bit about National Voter Registration Day, which is coming up very soon, and then we'll roll right into the training. So just moving into program updates, wanted to let you all know that your final report is going to be due to us October 16th, and I know Alan and I have spoken to almost all of you at this point to just kind of update on how we're closing this year and beginning the second year of our contract, October 1st, 2015. And some of the things that we're working on our end is actually for your second year contract is getting us started off a little bit more firmly with some goal setting objectives, also kind of more of a sense of your work plan over that time period, and a budget that you'll propose for your funds going out in year two. I wanted to share, and I think I'll be able to confirm this very soon, but I think we are aiming to finalize a 15-month, sorry, not 15-year, 15-month contract period for the second quote year of the project, which will allow us to really just keep the work going through the 2016 election. We did want to avoid having an administrative break before November 2016. So Alan and I will be confirming that and probably sending out the framework for the next MOU in the next few weeks. So any questions about that before I move on? Okay. Also just wanted to let you all know there's a couple of convenings upcoming. The first is in Chicago, and that's September 17th and 18th. That was a request by the Coulter Foundation for primarily CEOs of every national CE organization partner to come together. I wanted to let this group know, thank you. I think there are a couple of you that are going to be serving as proxies for your CEO at that meeting. So thank you guys for being able to come. The focus of that meeting is going to be what, from the funders' end of things, what the strategic plan will look like for this initiative through 2020. So that is sort of the Coulter's investment period, and we hope to have a lot more information after this meeting. I know that many of you completed the survey that was requested to help inform that meeting's agenda, so thank you for filling that out. It was really informative for us, and probably on our next call I'm going to go through what our survey results were. This is mostly for us, I think, collectively, for you individually, and then collectively as our cohort of 16 to kind of formulate what we feel like our target will look like as the health center contribution to this larger national effort, and what strategies we feel or you all felt were the best approach moving forward, and what was within your capacities as health centers. So I look forward to giving you guys that update and hopefully a lot more information after the Chicago convening. We are having a separate convening in Hawaii that was specifically for the Hawaii-based partners only who won't be coming to Chicago, and that's September 22nd to 26th. And those of you from Hawaii on the call, I think we've been in touch with almost all of you, and look forward to seeing you and hearing more about the Hawaii State Plan after that week transpires. Let's see, any questions about the upcoming convenings? Okay. Moving on, I just wanted to congratulate and getting back to National Health Center Week. I know you guys put in a lot of effort, and I hope you recovered just fine, but it looked like an extremely exciting week, and we wanted to just highlight and appreciate Waianae Coast Comprehensive Health Center, and I think Myrna's on the line, but congratulate them. They actually placed as second runner-up in the National Association of Community Health Centers photo and video contest. So whoop whoop, good job Myrna and Waianae. Congratulations. This is a photo of their 5K run walk. Myrna, I don't know if you wanted to share anything about how your event was. Maybe not. Okay, feel free to jump in, Myrna. Oh. Okay. So also just wanted to, these are just kind of a photo montage of several of the photos that we received, but wanted to do just a quick round robin for folks who are on the call of any highlights or, you know, one standout moment that you'd love to share with the group that kind of came out of your week's efforts, and we'll move on to National Voter Reg Day. So does anybody want to kick off? Oh, and in particular, we'd love to hear too, I think Heather's on the line also, if you were able to connect with or have a visit from or get in communication with your member of Congress as part of your National Health Center Week activities. We'd love to hear any updates on that too. I could go alphabetically if somebody wants to jump in. How about Andrea at Kalihi Palama? Andrea, are you there?
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hey.
Yeah, we had hello. We actually had Senator Hirono. She actually showed up, and Alice was able to contact Amy Grace from Schatz' office, and she also attended and spoke at our event. So
great.
It was very surprising, and luckily no one got wet from the rain. It turned out to be a very nice event. Really good turnout of people.
Great. And congratulations, you all, on your 40th anniversary.
Yes. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
It was a big achievement.
Yeah. How about Andrew? I'm just going alphabetically. Andrew, are you there? Okay. Oh, he's muted. Gotcha. Sorry, Andrew's muted. You can feel free to text or type in, Andrew. I can give your update too. How about going to Aki, Anne-Marie, and Rabia? Do you guys want to share anything from National Health Center Week?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, just had to unmute myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the things is, as you know, we're trying to better systemize collecting client and general community data. So we have our first run at the design of that, gathering that information.
Got it.
So that's where we're at.
Great, great. Sounds good. I saw Anna on the line from Charles Duong. I know you guys had Good Health Day. Is there any highlights you want to share from that event? You all might have to unmute yourselves to talk. Okay, I'm going to come back to you, Anna. How about Kathy from Hope in Texas?
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I guess if you see on the slide for our National Health Center week, each day we did something different. But I think what really stood out to me was the superhero day. We kind of had everybody do things like Superman or Batman, but we also had really creative people who fought against like different chronic diseases. And but what really made it special was all the staff that got together and participated. The patients saw that, and it really started the conversation for them to ask, well, why are you dressed like that, or what are you doing? And it was a really great conversation starter so that the clinical staff could educate them about why they're dressed like that, kind of share their own personal story about what chronic disease or maybe like what screening really has saved their life or something that's personal to them. And just really to be able to share that with the patient and to kind of see that interaction was a really, really big highlight for us here.
That's great. Is this the first year you've done that sort of superhero theme?
Yeah, it is. And so it was a lot of fun. Everybody seems to really enjoy it. They actually asked if we could do it a few more times throughout the year. So we may start doing that more often.
Yeah, the photos were great. Thanks, Kathy. Ashley, sorry, I skipped over you. Ashley at KKV in Hawaii. I know you're planning for upcoming town hall. Feel free to tell folks about that.
Yeah, so actually we had planned to have that town hall more near during that week, National Health Center week, but because we had some changes in like trying to coordinate everyone's work schedule on our site at the housing near the housing, so we were not able to set it up, but we are still looking forward to that. But I think the highlight was our all-day fair that was on the Friday of National Health Center Week, and we had just our wellness center. It's like the most full that it has ever been, and where we do our work, the Vivi room was filled with a lot of community members, and I think one of the highlights that I wanted to share was the different products that that our community has made, you know, from like our blankets and that's how we had more of stories, and then we were doing voter registration in the room. So I think it was a time for storytelling.
Yeah.
And that was our center around like sharing and going back to like our values and the process of how we just wanted to engage through storytelling.
That's great. That's great. We're looking forward to being there for the town hall too. Thanks so much, Ashley. And thanks, Andrew and Anna, who've kind of, if you look at your chat box too, they're providing some updates on their week's events. I'm going to move us through, though, just because of the time. But Claudia, how about out at Bay Clinic in Hilo? Any highlights to share?
Good morning. We had a wonderful time putting this all together since it was the first time that we've really done anything extensive like this. We were able to go ahead and show the community the services that we provide. There were a lot of questions about tobacco cessation and child care, pediatrics, teens, everything. And so the staff was very energetic, and we just had a good time. And it was very nice to go ahead and make the connection, not just with our patients, but also with our community.
That's great. Thank you, Claudia. Kim Lee, how about, yeah, I know you had quite an awards event too and dinner. Is there anything else you want to share from National Health Center Week?
Yeah, sure. So we actually provided an award to one of our champion volunteers at our health center. Additionally, we had a congresswoman, one of our congresswomen, Marcia Fudge, came out. She provided a proclamation at our town hall event. It was hosted at the City Hall of Cleveland, which is about a 2-minute drive from our ICHC Health Center. And then we also brought in a civic engagement aspect where we raised awareness about voter purges and the effects on our ICHC patients, and in turn conducted a voter registration drive.
Oh, that's great. Sounds fun. Thanks so much, Kinley. So many good ideas too. I hope folks take notes. These are great event ideas, even throughout the year. How about Ronnie in Lowell, Massachusetts?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, we have a great week on National Health Center Week. I like to highlight the group hug still because on that day was rainy, and we have a lot of people show up, community politicians such as mayor, state senators, and it was rainy. They still come and do the group hug.
That's great. Thanks, Ronnie.
I can see the picture on the umbrella. And also at night on Tuesday, we went to City Hall, and I was asked to go with the CEO of the health center, and I gave a brief speech. I was so nervous give a couple of sentence speech at the hall.
That's great. Yeah. We love, the photos are just fabulous. Thanks, Ronnie. How about Myrna? I'll try one more time for Waianae. Okay. Feel free to jump in, Myrna. It may have to unmute. I'm not sure. How about Perla down in LA?
Okay, we did an extended celebration because of our 2 school-based clinics. So we celebrated National Health Center Week practically the whole month of August. And the first 2 days here in our main health centers, we had nutrition and physical exercises, which I already submitted photos, and it was successful. And the school-based, we had open house and for one clinic, and we had a clinic tour for the other clinic. We invited one of our council members. He sent a field deputy, so we're now in their territorial map to outreach for them. And we got a promulgation from our city mayor, Mayor Garcetti. So I think, we celebrated it here, and we did our best, and we made people aware for the nutrition and physical exercises as physical prevention of illnesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Perla. I'm going to move to Richard at Asian Health Services. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the town hall? Richard, are you there? We'll wait for Richard. How about Tina Nems?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
So I actually was on vacation during the week of National Health Center Week, so I wasn't here, but totally unintentionally planned it months ago and then found out too late to switch. But from what I heard, it was really good, and I think the staff felt really appreciated from all the events that we did. We sent you guys some pictures, and we got the patients engaged. Yeah, I think it went pretty well overall.
Great, gotcha. We don't have to ask you details about your vacation. We'll save that for later. Victoria, about tax in Atlanta. Hi.
Hi. We on August 11th we invited legislators and some of our county folks and funders and potential funders to come out to that event. We had about 40 people plus 10 ethnic media groups come out. It was really a packed space if you've ever been to our Cosmo Health Center. We had Representative Scott Holcomb and Representative Pedro Marin just loving it. They were just going through just yesterday, we found out that one of the articles that was highlighted in the Mundo Hispanico, the Latino newspaper, was picked up, and it's splashed all over the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So we're very proud.
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah, so we just found out yesterday. One of our community members brought it up, and they were like, "Did you see this?" And we have maybe like 5 articles out. We're collecting them right now. And they've been also, the representatives that came, been using social media to give us shout-outs. And we got a presentation from Gwinnett County Commissioners, and they are just amazed and trying to connect us with everybody in the county. So, and that's the county that did it. Yeah, so it was really successful, and it just, the follow-up that it's a little bit overwhelming, but it's great.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. Thanks so much, Victoria. Yeah, I just big congratulations to you all. I think it was a great week to leverage and in consideration of all the civic engagement work. It's wonderful to hear just continuing to build the relationships with your members of Congress and local electeds, and then also just all the creative ideas and the media, social media and media opportunities that came up that week. I think it's certainly something we will build off again in this upcoming year's year 2 contract as well. So thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to move us on because I know we're anxious to get to the training portion, but just wanted to remind folks, I think we've been in touch with a lot of you about National Voter Registration Day, which is upcoming September 22nd. Here at APCHA, we were actually wanting to encourage a theme for National Voter Reg Day for some of you to consider maybe staff inreach or staff targeted activities or campaigns, and just wanted to briefly poll and see if anybody has any sort of staff engagement activities planned for that day, even if it's just kind of visibility in the health center.
Jen?
Yes.
It's Perla here.
Hi, Perla.
Yeah, just this morning we had our first Friday meeting, general meeting for all the clinics. And we announced, we were given an opportunity to have a 5-minute announcement for our National Voter Registration Day plans. So we encouraged all staff, we made a presentation so that we will have again a campaign, and we need them to get the message across to our patients, their families, themselves first. Yeah, so we did that this morning, just now. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Perla. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else? Yeah, I just wanted to open it up, see if there were any creative ideas for staff inreach. We wanted to encourage this because we, are doing a lot of the great community work, but didn't want to overlook or, other opportunities to work with staff who are, maybe a lower hanging fruit. Okay. I'll keep asking folks. I think we'll come back to you all. We'd love to hear about your National Voter Reg Day events. Just also wanted to encourage you all, if you haven't registered with the National Voter Registration Day website yet, to please do so. They actually do have materials, and will also promote and circulate any events that you have planned. We can, after this call, resend the link out. I think it's just nvrd.org. But they did have also some limited posters, I think in Chinese, Vietnamese, and Korean. Hopefully, if you've already registered, you've received those materials. They're pretty fast in their turnaround. Also, if you're looking for resources or ideas, Nonprofit Vote on their website, they also have quite a bit of National Voter Reg Day targeted events. They're sort of coined the event. And then on APCHA's side, also just wanted to share, we'll be getting out to you all kind of a National Voter Registration Day toolkit, which will just have some social media references and tips for the day. So we hope to get that out shortly. Heather, is there anything else you wanted to add on that?
Not at the moment. We'll definitely try and get that out to you well in advance of National Voter Registration Day, so you have all the information to be used in the clinics, and probably try and find a way to do some sort of explaining of the toolkit itself. But that's being processed at the moment.
Got it. Thanks, Heather. Make sure I didn't miss anything. So that is it for National Voter Registration Day, and I'm kind of eager to hand over the mic to Alan now to take us through the SALSA import training. And just, yeah, context-wise, I think this is a big step for us in terms of just being able to get a sense of your lists and any troubleshooting we need to do to refine this process. So we are recording this training today, and then, of course, are available for additional questions, if we can't fit them all in today. But I'll hand it over to Alan.
Hello, everybody. All right, the fun part. So I guess just to start off, I got to say, please bear with me. I am no expert at this. We are all new to this. I just, tooled myself up to try to expedite this, importing this list into SALSA. Because pretty soon, I hear that we will all be evaluated on this. the Culture Foundation's got their eyes on us, so we want to make sure we have something to show for. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Just a couple quick objectives through this. It's going to be a very basic training, really, just to get you folks started on it. And at the end, I have some additional resources that you guys can feel free to look over yourself to get a little bit more comfortable and acquainted with Salsa. But so the objective, so just proper formatting of your database, importing your lists into Salsa, actually getting into the habit of doing it, and just general basic list management strategies. So hopefully as I go through this training, we'll be able to hit all those things. That's the goal. And if I miss it, just let me know and we'll rectify that. So we'll go ahead. First things first. So I don't know if you guys all have something, if you guys want to follow along, please feel free to. I'm just going to go real time and work this through. So right here, I've got my Excel sheet. This is all fabricated. Nothing's real here. So if you have your Excel sheet open, I just wanted to go through, I guess first and foremost, just want to go over the, I guess, required, from this point forward, if you're not already, the required fields that we're going to be having you guys take into account and upload into Salsa. And these are just at minimum, and we also have a few recommended ones, so we'll go over that. So at first, we're going to start off with name, last name, street 2. This is an optional field. You know, sometimes folks have apartment numbers or things like that. So that's an optional thing. City, and this ST is state. I purposely put ST just to show, to troubleshoot when we get into Salsa, and when we upload it, there's going to be, sometimes there will be some fields perhaps that will cause some errors, so I just wanted to purposely do that, just so we can figure out how to troubleshoot that. And then we've got zip code, phone number, your cell phone number. So this is assuming home phone, and this is cell phone number. So email is, it's recommended, especially because it's Salsa, which is really a communications tool, and we want to be able to communicate to all these folks, all of our advocates. But if we are talking about direct comparison to the VAN, it's not necessarily required, but we would highly recommend it if they have it. You know, of course, a lot of folks at the health centers, they don't have emails, but if you can, it would be great to have. Another required field we're asking of is preferred language, and also if you provided voter registration assistance. So with this one, if you can see here, I've got 0 and 1. I have that because this is actually a custom field that Salsa will not necessarily, it won't recognize it when you upload it. And I'll go through that more in detail. It might sound confusing now, but I'll go through it a little bit more in depth later. So basically, 0 means no and 1 means yes. And this is going to be basically our way of validating your voter registration through the VAN. You'll be able to really see your success rate, or to really validate if they were actually registered. And finally, another highly recommended field is ethnicity. So of these fields, the custom fields, as I was mentioning earlier, are preferred language, provided voter registration assistance, and ethnicity. And I'll go, like I said, more in depth on how to create these in your Salsa account. So before I move on, are there any questions on the fields? Okay. So moving on, you know, when you open up your Excel sheet, it automatically goes to XLSX or XLS, depending on which version you have. But Salsa is not going to be able to read that format. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to go File, Save As, and under Format over here, you're going to scroll down under Specialty Formats. And you're going to have to pick Tab Delimited Text. And that's just a different format that Salsa is able to read, and it can take each field and it can appropriately read it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to take note of where I'm saving it. All right. So that's a key step to make sure that you have a .txt file. So now that that's done with, we'll go ahead and get into Salsa. So everybody, all the CECs, the coordinators should have their account already set up, and which is just your email address and your password, unless you haven't changed it yet, is going to be password. I think that's mine right now. So, and you're going to also want to make sure you click I want the new interface. Okay, so as you can see, we get into Salsa. Everybody should have the same interface. First things first, I actually would like to go edit profile. You click this guy up here and you go to edit profile. And I recommend just changing your password. I'll go ahead and do that. And save. Okay, I hope it saves. All right, so after you do that, to actually get into the importing of your list, you're going to go ahead and hit this over here under your dashboard, which is all the packages. I'm not sure if you guys remember the original training from Salsa, but the trainer had went over these packages. And to import your list, you're going to go ahead and go under supporter package. And so you have two options. You can actually you can have individual supporters. You can input that here, right here on the overview. But for our purposes, for the list at least, you're going to scroll down, and right here under Manage Imports, you have two options: Import Supporters and View Import Status. So we're going to click Import Supporters. And this just goes through a few instructions, but you're going to go ahead, you can feel free to read it, but it explains basically what I was going over about saving it as a .txt file. So you can scroll down, and you're going to go right here under File Name, and you're going to choose which file. And you're going to want to find that file. And make sure to pick the .txt, because if you pick the actual Excel sheet, it's going to screw up. So you're going to want to make sure to get the .txt. So I'm going to open that, and you're going to skip all these right here. This, for the most part, as I said, basic import training, you're not going to want to touch these, because it's going to be pretty standard. And I forgot to mention too, I know some folks, perhaps Asia actually has experience in Salsa, or some other folks may have experience in Salsa. So if I'm missing anything, feel free to just jump in and interrupt. So after that, you're going to go ahead, save and continue. And you hit over, it'll take you to this page. And this is where this field matching is where Salsa actually takes these fields in your sheet, and it'll try to match it up into their system. So as you can see, we're going down first name. This is this left side is everything that you have on your sheet, on your page, and right here on the right is where Salsa is matching it. So as you can see, we've got first name, last name, street, street 2, city. These are all matched, so you don't have to do anything there. But when we get to state, as I mentioned, I have ST here, but Salsa does not recognize that. So you're going to want to click this drop-down menu. As you can see, it says ignore, and you're going to want to go down and find state right there. That way it'll know to populate that field in your database. And then you'll go down to zip. You can see that it matches that. Phone, cell phone, email, And now we're getting to these three fields that I had mentioned are custom fields. So in AppCho's database, we had already created these custom fields for preferred language and ethnicity, but we have not yet done a provided voter registration assistance field. So you can see that it says ignore here. So in order to create a custom field, what you're going to want to do is click this drop-down menu and keep scrolling down. And under new custom fields is where you're going to check it. So provided voter registration assistance is a black and white question. It's a yes or no kind of thing. So you're going to want to create a yes or no checkbox. There's only two answers for that. In instances where it's ethnicity, for instance, or preferred language, you're going to want to go to new custom text value. And that's basically, it allows you to type anything. You're not limited to yes or no kind of thing. So for provided voter registration assistance, if the person who's inputting this has helped this individual register to vote, you're going to take note of that. And as you remember, it was either a 0 or a 1 in my field, and you're going to have to use those. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then that's the field matching part. Before I move on, are there any questions on this part? I know a little bit of information could be a bit confusing. Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and move on. So next you'll get down to supporter groups. And this is where you'll be able to kind of manage your lists a bit more. So what you can do is, before even importing, you can create different kinds of groups, and then you'll be able to click this drop-down menu, and you'll be able to import people. And say you upload a list, you'll be able to automatically populate them and put them into that list. So say I want to add these guys into civic engagement, I'll go ahead and click civic engagement, and the people that are on this import will be in that group. So if you want to send a targeted email to folks in civic engagement, you go to your group, civic engagement, and you can blast out that email. For our purposes today, I'm going to go ahead and create a new group. But when I create a new group, you're not able to automatically put the name down. You can't type it in right away. I'm going to show you how to go back into the system and customize it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new group here. And tags are kind of like hashtags, if you guys are aware of that now. It'll be just little words or phrases that are attached to this import that could be used to search things later on. I am not the biggest fan of it. I prefer the groups, but it is also a good way. It depends on your work style. It depends on your workflow. And you're going to, over here and under the advanced options, you're going to want to skip lines. What this is essentially is these are count as your lines, and for me, I'm going to want to skip the first line because the first line is just these fields. So if you don't skip any lines, you're going to get an entry with first name, last name, street. So I'm going to go ahead and skip one line, not 11. And a key part for us here, just because of the population we deal with, I know a lot of folks, a lot of our people, they have similar exact names in the API community. They have the same names, and deduplication, what that does is it'll merge folks together, but for our purposes, that might actually be a bad thing, because if you have two different people but they have the same name, you will lose that if you choose to do this. So we're going to want to disable that. And it's going to ask you to make sure, and you're going to want to click yes. So once that's all over with, you're going to hit submit for upload. And you get a quick message over here just letting you know. It says that it'll take about up to 24 hours, but with a list that small, I think I had maybe 8 people on there. It's not going to take that long. So give it a couple seconds and refresh. So right here you can see this is what was just uploaded, and you can see that it was complete. And right here it says supporters created, and what this field is how many new supporters were created. So I just uploaded 8 brand new supporters, and updates by deduplication. Since we took that field out, you're not going to see anything there. Important thing to take note of also is this key, because this is attached to your upload, and if you need to, for any instance where you need to change it or delete supporters, you're going to want to take note of this key. And you can also find that same thing under View Import Status. Under Manage Imports, you're going to view import status. Okay, so to address those folks who have the same names, what we can do is, in my list here, for example purposes, I had 2 people named Daniel Chen. And so the way that Salsa deduplicates and merges folks together is they prioritize their emails. But since a lot of folks don't have emails, that's why we took that out. But some instances, some people may actually have had changed their addresses, and you want to be able to merge them together. In those cases, what you're going to do is under this Manage Supporters up here, you're going to hit Deduplicate Supporters. And this brings you to this page, and you're going to select the field to do deduplicate on. And right here I have selected first name and last name, and you can choose the number of entries that you want to see per page, make it a little bit less overbearing. So once you do that, you hit Retrieve Duplicate Records. And these are actually from other uploads that I didn't do. This is AppShow's database right here. But right here, as you can see, I have Daniel Chen twice. And these are 2 separate people, so I do not want to merge these. So what it says here is this is the primary one and secondary. So if I were to keep that there and I were to merge it, it would be one person and they'd have different contact information for him. But since I know that these are 2 separate people, I'm going to hit Ignore on both sides. And then I will merge these duplicates. And then it gets rid of it. Yeah. So that's pretty much the uploading phase. Very basic, like I mentioned. Before I move on, were there any questions on that? I know it could be a bit confusing. Okay, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and move on. So say you're in the middle of uploading and you realize that you made a mistake or something's wrong and you need to go back and you're like, oh crap, I got to get rid of this upload, it's wrong. How do I delete it? The way that you're going to do it is, if you don't remember, like me, I totally forgot that number I told you to remember. That tag, that key that's attached to your import, 72250 was mine. So that is the entire upload that I had just created. And I want to go and delete it. So what I'm going to do is go to Query and Export. And this query tool, I'm not an expert at it at all, but what it is basically you can search through all of your entire database based on a few keywords or different categories or things like that. You can go through these things and learn about it a little bit more. But in regards to deleting that last import, what I'm going to do is under tags, that number that I remember, which I believe is 72250. So I click tags here, and I'm going to go ahead and find import created 72250. I'm going to add that. And then at the very bottom, import updated 72250. I'm going to go ahead and add that. So that will hopefully, if I'm correct, it'll bring up those supporters that were imported through that. So I'm going to hit save and run. And you can see that your query matched 8 supporters. And you can skip through all these, or you can go through that and explore that a little bit more. But to verify that these are in fact the folks that you just imported, you can go down to the very bottom, and it'll show you a spot check of who was in this query. So we got Cindy, Jason, David, Joanne. If we compare it to this, Cindy, Jason, David, Joanne. So I'm pretty confident that this is, in fact, that last import. And say I want to delete it, what you're going to do is under support or operations up here, you're going to want to go ahead and click delete. Oops, I made a mistake. So are you sure you want to delete these exporters? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And you'll get a confirmation that your request has been complete. And you know, I gotta say that that's about as far as I think we hope to get through today. I wanted to save a couple minutes just in case folks, I'm not sure if anybody was able to actually follow along and try to import any kind of lists on their own, but that's about as far as we wanted to go there. I do want to share that here's some resources that will go ahead and send out after this training. And it's really just to get you a little bit more familiar and comfortable with Salsa. So there's some YouTube videos, email list hygiene, a clean list is a happy list. We've got a topic on smart groups. I have no idea what that is, but we can go ahead and figure that out if that interests you. Advocacy tools overview, nonprofit email list segmentation 101, and also some reading materials provided by Salsa. And that's how to manage groups a little bit more in depth. Tags versus groups, if you guys remember me talking about that a little bit earlier. Also creating and sending an email blast, and also and some query terms. So I have them up here, but I'll be sure to include them as well. And in addition, I'll also be sending out a step-by-step of what exactly I did today. So hopefully you'll get in, it'll be muscle memory by the time you guys are done with it all. I think that was pretty much it that I had. We do have one ask from you guys is since, you know, we're wrapping up this year and we're really gonna, hopefully we're all tooled up at bare minimum to really get further into this civic engagement game that we're all into. We are asking that you complete your first import by the final report, and as Jen mentioned earlier, it'll be due October 16th. Jen, did you have anything?
No, I think I'm also a learner in this, so I think, you know, please keep a lookout for Alan's step-by-step instructions, and, you know, we encourage you to sort of bravely explore Salsa, and, you know, please feel free to contact Alan if you have any questions on the import process. I think our goal in terms of just having you import what you currently have into Salsa is that so we can actually see how that grassroots-based network is growing, and that's something that we do need to share and update the Coulter Foundation on in terms of our progress. So that's why it's kind of attached to, or we'd like you to go ahead and do that import by October 16th. If you can do it earlier, great. But just feel free to contact us in the meantime. I know this is sort of the first sort of more hands-on interaction for many of you with Salsa. So go ahead and, you know, find that login and get in there and start becoming familiar with some of the features. There are, and you know, we'll send out again on our App Show webpage. We have our civic engagement reference site that has, you'll have the recording of this training and I think the original Salsa training as well. So we'll make sure all those things are accessible to you, and just please contact us in the interim too. We're here to help.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. I mean, on the local level, just to see your lists grow, but collectively, just to see how big this project and this program can really get, and just to see how many people we can touch. So Kim Lee actually had something in the chat. I'm just going to go ahead and read it out loud. So queries also provide you with the opportunity to tag patients, clients, support to more than one activity. At Asia, each of our departments have a query, and all touched accounts are assigned to all the queries they interact with. Hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and you can, I think you can add no, I'm sure you can. You can add folks to multiple groups. Say they have different purposes. You can tag them in different groups. You can add them in different groups. So yeah, were there any questions? Just want to open up the mic to anything that folks may have. All right. Well,
I would just also encourage, and we've talked to Kim Lee about this too, like if you are not aware, if your organization already has a email platform like Salsa, it would be helpful for you to find out what current software your organization uses to communicate with its constituents and to make them aware that you have Salsa available to you through this project. We certainly want to make sure Salsa is complementing the work you do, and and your organization it would be helpful for them to know about this tool being available and how it works with or supports any existing software that your organization uses. So I just want to flag that for folks who may not be aware, and to let your leadership know this tool is provided for through this project, and will be used kind of as a communications tool or resource to your organization for your base of community health center champions or advocates. So just a quick note to folks. Cool. All right.
Oh, we've got a question from Perla. Going back to report submission, if no report is due this September, could you please send us an email so we can inform the development who is monitoring our report? Absolutely, Perla.
Jen, I have a question. It's Tina.
Hey, Tina.
So, sorry, I'm like really behind on everything dealing with Salsa. I'm trying to get up to speed, but I think I had asked you guys, like, is there a generic login and password? And you I think mentioned there was, but I never received it.
Oh, yeah, Tina, it's your email address and the password is password, all lowercase.
Oh, okay.
That's across the board. Yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't even like get in there. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work for anybody, just let us know and we can go ahead and fix that and figure out what's going on. But I believe Beverly, she had set up accounts for everybody.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And she just across the board she had it be the CE coordinator's email address, and each password was just password lowercase. All in lowercase. So in the beginning of this, I showed you guys how to update your password, so I recommend doing that.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks for asking, though. Yeah, if anyone has any difficulties getting into your account, as Alan said, just please let us know, and we'll double check that your account is correctly set up.
Yeah.
Great.
It wasn't too bad, right? I hope not.
No, just, let us know if you have any questions. I know, there are just several key steps in there, and keep an eye out for the instructions too. But otherwise, that is kind of the bulk of what we had for today's call. I'll do a last call for any questions or comments, but if not, then we are scheduled to for our next call on Friday, October 2nd, 2015, same time, same place. So.
Hey, Jen, this is Claudia at Bay Clinic.
Hi, Claudia.
Is there any more information going out about the Hawaii group meeting for September?
Yes, I'm actually sending that out today with a little more information about, I don't have a lot of details about the conference, but I do about the APJO meeting on Friday the 26th.
So the meeting is going to be scheduled for the 26th. Okay, very good.
Yeah, I'll send that out today.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So just want to thank you guys for being on the call. I wish you a happy Labor Day, and we will talk to you soon, and hopefully be in touch with you soon too. If you have any questions, please just let us know. All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Good weekend.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.